Now, when you're building websites with tools like advanced custom fields, you're going to come across times where you need to build relationships, linking databases together to be able to create a much more feature-rich page or display additional content. Today's video, I'm going to show you how you can do just that. We're going to be taking advanced custom fields using the relationship options, and then we're going to be linking that through into dynamic content for Elementor so we can visually and easily build all the template files and create a great looking end result. So if this is something that interests you, let me just jump over the computer now and take you through and show you exactly what we're going to create, and then we're going to start building it from scratch. So this is a very basic example of the type of thing that we're going to look at creating, and visually it's not the most exciting, but it's going to give you a good demonstration of how this all works. So if we take a look, this is a particular vehicle, and if we come back at the vehicle section, you can see we've just got a listing of the vehicles with some filters, the kind of thing you would expect to see on a used car kind of site. You know, very simple kind of format. If we come in and take a look at the Focus RS, and we scroll down to the bottom, you can see all the details about the vehicle, optional extras, but we have a section at the bottom called dealerships. Now these are relational entries. In other words, these are related and they can be linked through to multiple different vehicles. So you could have 10 different vehicles at Freddie's Fords and 10 different vehicles at Dave's used Audis. It's a very easy way of setting things up. And if we come back out of this and we go and take a look at a different vehicle, we'll try the Mini Cooper. You'll see if we scroll down, we've got the same details again. This time it's only available at Dave's used Audis. So you can very quickly and easily link these through using that relationship. And this is, like I say, a very simplistic example. But once you understand what's going on behind the scenes, it'll give you a good idea of the types of things that you could use this for and how you can use it to create more complex looking pages. So before we move on and start actually building things, let's take a quick look at the way things have been set up. Now, if we come over into the dashboard of WordPress, I've got a couple of custom post types. I've got one for vehicles, which has all my vehicle details in there. And I have one for dealerships, which will hold the information about the dealership itself. So logo, the address, things along those lines. Vehicle details, if we click and take a look at that, we've got a custom list of meta fields inside there that are associated with the vehicle's post type. So things like your vehicle price, the manufacturer, and so on. All pretty simple and straightforward, and the location rules set up on there, the post type is equal to vehicle. So all that data is available if you come into the vehicles, and we'll take a look at all the vehicles a moment, and we'll open up the Focus RS as an example, and you can see we've got all the relevant details, the price, the color, and so on, and we have this dealership option that allows us to link it through, and this is part of that relationship. So we come back out of here and we go back into our custom fields and back into our field groups. We've also got the dealership details, which if I open that up, again, you can see currently all that's in there is the location alongside the title, the name of the dealership, the featured image, and so on. Come back out again into the field groups, and what we have inside there is a relational field. Ignore my spelling on there because obviously I'm a little bit illiterate today. So you can click and open that up, and all we've really got in there is a relational field that allows us to create the link. So if we click and open up the dealer option, which is the only custom field that I currently have, you can see I've got a field label and a field name, and then we've got the field type set to relationship. If we click and open that up, you can see all the different options are inside there, and we've got extra options inside the relational section, things like link, post objects, and so on. And we'll cover those in a different video further on down the line. All I want to show you in this one is how we can set up the most basic of relationships. So once you choose relationship, that will open up some extra options underneath. And it says filter by post type. So because we're setting up a dealer and that dealership is the relationship, we set the filter by post type to dealership. Filter by taxonomy, ignore that. Filters is just a way in which we can filter the actual dealerships when we create or edit a post. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to enable these different options. We'll come down and we'll just simply update this. Once that's updated, we'll come back into our vehicles, open up all our vehicles, and we'll open up the Mini Cooper. Now, if we scroll down to where we've got that relationship, you can see we've got search as an option. We can select by post type, dealership, and we can select the taxonomy. Obviously, this isn't relevant to what we're currently doing with this. What we want to do is just keep this really simple so we could search. So if we had a lot of dealerships, it would be a very simple, quick and easy way of searching for the dealership we want to associate without this additional clutter that's not relevant in this example. But you can see it's very easy to enable or disable those features. So we come back over, scroll back into our settings, open that back up, and we'll take off taxonomy and post type and just leave search inside there. That will do exactly what we want. Now, if you're wondering what the featured image does, come back over into our example and you can see we currently have nothing to sort of like visually associate any of these different dealerships. However, if we come back over into here and we say featured image, what we're going to do is we'll just update this to save it, come back over and we'll refresh this. Once we do that and we scroll down, you can see we now have the little logo that we've got associated with each of those dealerships, which we set up as the featured image. So in this example, you can see you've got the Ford logo and the Audi logo. So again, this is just another one of those things that's a nice visual way from the dashboard side of things to be able to see exactly what's going on and making sure that you select the right dealership. So that's the basics of how we've set those things up. The next thing we need to do is start to be able to pull this data into our template structure. So I've jumped over into the template section of Elementor Pro, and we come into the saved templates as opposed to the theme builder at this point, because we're going to create the placeholder for each one of our dealership listings. So we're going to drop in the logo, we're going to drop in some details and a map link. With that being said, all we need to do is come up and we're going to say we're going to create a section, and we're going to say add new, making sure select section is the selected option, and we're just going to call this dealership. Once we've done that, create our template, let Elementor load up, and we're going to get rid of any of these predefined layouts, and we're going to build out our layout ourselves. Now you can ignore any of the information at the top or the bottom, the header, the footer, the sort of page title and so on. All of this is basically going to get ignored. It's just showing us so we can see what's going on when we're building this out. So what do we need to do first of all? Well, we're going to create an inner section. We're going to drag and drop that in there. And we're going to create 3 columns. So we're just going to add a new column. And this is going to be logo in the left, details in the middle, and map on the right. But obviously, you could lay this out in any way you wanted to. So now we need to pull in some of this dynamic data. So it's very easy to do. We're going to come back over to our widgets. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab an image, drop that into the first section, come back over to where the image is. And when we hover over it, we get the little dynamic tags option. We can click on there and we can now just reference the featured image. Now, because we're creating a template for this particular dealership and we've used these various different components, it knows when we create this template and we use it in our overall individual vehicle template, exactly what data to pull in. So once we've done that, you can see nothing is showing currently, and that's because we haven't told Elementor what data we want to use. Now, this isn't a query or anything. This is just as we create the template, it's a simple visual way of being able to see what we're doing. So if you come back down into the little cog, the settings option, the bottom left, you can see preview settings is the last option. Click on there, and it says, first of all, select the dynamic content we want to reference. So I'm going to click and open that up. And we can simply scroll through until we find exactly what we want, which in this example is dealership. So we're going to click on dealership. Then you can see it says all. So if we wanted to, we could just come in there and we're just going to say Dave. Let that search through and you see that just pulls up one of our dealerships. We're going to use that as the basis for this template layout. Click on that, apply and preview. Once we do that, it'll refresh the page and then start to pull in some of that data so we can now build things out in a much more visual way, being able to see the kinds of information that's going to be displayed in this particular dealer listing. Okay, so with that in place, we're going to set some parameters. So we're going to click on this image and we'll set this to the 300 by 300, so it's a little smaller. I'm going to click on this column and we're going to set that to be 20% so the logo isn't in your face. Once we've done that, we're going to come over now back into our widgets on the left-hand side. We're going to grab the heading option, drop that inside there. And again, you can see this just pulls in the placeholder text. We have the option to go in and create and use dynamic tags. So anywhere you see this dynamic tags option, we can pull in dynamic data from various different sources. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on dynamic tags and we're just going to find the information we want, which is going to be post title. Now, even though it calls it a post, it's just the way that WordPress works. Any kind of content you create, custom post types, whether it's to do with WooCommerce or using advanced custom fields and custom post type UI, everything is treated as a custom post type. So the terminology post is just a very generic term for pretty much all the kinds of content you're going to create. Yes, there are pages, yes, there are media and so on, but pages are still just another kind of post type. So just getting into the habit of understanding what this means just makes the whole process a little easier. Okay, so we pulled in the title or the name of this particular dealership. We're going to come in and choose to put in a text editor, and we're going to drop that underneath there. And we're simply going to come over then and click on the dynamic tags again. Now, if you're wondering why I've got post summary and you may not be seeing this, it's because I've got a plugin called Elementor Custom Skin, and it gives me this extra option. If you don't have this, you could easily drop in different data. It's entirely up to you. I just find that plugin very useful. So with that in place, we've got the main information in. So the next thing we want to do is come back over to our widgets on the left-hand side, grab the Google Maps, drop that into the right-hand column, set some zoom levels and things on here. So we're going to set that at 14, and we're going to set the height to be something like 200 pixels. And again, you can see we've got the dynamic option for the location. So we're going to click on there, and I've got a custom field already set up that has the actual location of this particular business. So we're going to say ACF field. Then we're going to click on the wrench icon to the left, and we're going to come over and we're going to say dealership details, and we're going to choose location. Once we do that, the map should then fill out with the details based upon where this particular business is located. And as you can see, it's in Cardiff. Now, even though I've set this as quite a generic location, you can go down to street level and so on. This is just showing you a basic overview. So all I need to do now is quickly go in and style everything to make it look a little neater and tidier and in keeping with the way that this particular site is set up. So the same fonts, same styling and so on. So I'm going to do that quickly, and then we'll take a look at moving on. So if you're enjoying this video and you're finding it useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the bell icon to be notified as soon as new content is added. Content like this that'll help you get more from WordPress, advanced custom fields, and all those extra tools you can use to create fantastic, powerful, dynamic WordPress websites. Anyway, let's just jump back on and carry on working with this tutorial. So there we go, a little bit of styling, everything laid out the way I want. All I need to do now is hit on publish, and that will then save that template for us. And we're going to use that as the basis for the repeating element inside the individual sort of vehicle details. Okay, so next thing to do is going to come back out of this, we're going to exit out to our dashboard. We're going to come over then back into the template section of Elementor Pro, and we're going to choose the theme builder option. So once we open that up, we're going to find the template, the single template that displays each individual vehicle. Once I've got that, I'm going to say edit with Elementor. And once we've done that, we're then going to use this as the basis to filter everything and display that additional dealership information. So if we scroll down the page, you can see currently the last thing I've got are the optional extras. So we need to put this information in. And this is where we're going to use the dynamic content for Elementor. So we're going to search for relationship, and you can see there's ACF relationship. Drag and drop that down into the area below. Next thing we need to do is just choose how we want to find the data and how we want to display it and all those kinds of useful things. So the first thing it says is ACF relational field list. So we're going to click on there, and you see it'll show us any relational field we have throughout our entire setup. Currently, we only have one available, but if we had multiple, we'd see them all listed inside there, showing us the name of it, what it's linked through to, and it's saying it's a relationship field. So we're going to click on there. Once you've done that, you can see that now immediately pulls in the data that we've got for this particular vehicle. And we're looking at the Ford Focus, which we know has 2 individual dealerships associated with it. But it's kind of ugly. You know, we've created this template, nothing is going on. So how do we use it? You can see we've got a render mode, and we've got 3 options. We've got title, which is what we currently have. So it's going to show just the name of each individual repeated field, or relational field, I should say. Then you've got text, which we can click, and you can see that it just creates or uses some short codes, and again, in this instance, looks pretty ugly. You can also then come in and say template, and this is what we want to use. So we click on template. Next thing it does now is open up and say, well, what's the name of the template that you want to use for this example? So we just start typing in dealership. Let it search through, and you can see dealership, Elementor library, and there's a section. So it just tells us we're just calling up a section template. Click on there. Give it a second or so, and you can see that now pulls in the data using that template structure. So we've basically done everything we need to. But before we sort of just end up leaving it here, let's take a look at some of the things we've got available. Like I say, we've got these different render modes. We've also got different display modes. So again, if we come down, scroll up so we can see a little bit more of what's going on. Currently it's set to be natural, which doesn't really give us much in the way of control over what's going on. It just pulls in the template in the exact same order, in the exact same layout, which in this example is pretty good, but you may want to change things. Let's just say you had a different layout and you wanted to have 3 dealerships listed underneath, or 3 and then 3 and then 3 and 3 and so on until you've got through all the dealerships. Well, you can do things like that. If we open up the natural, you can see we've got extra options. So for example, if we come down and choose grid, and click on there, that now creates a grid, which we can specify the number of columns. Again, you can choose 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. The HTML tag that's going to be used, so if you wanted to assign a div to this, you could do just that. You can see it pulls in and uses our template. In this example, it doesn't necessarily look particularly great, but you know, it's a way of working with it, and you could set the design up in any way you want so it would fit in perfectly with what you're creating as part of your template. You could also come back out, like I say, you can use ordered lists, unordered lists. So you can see if you had something very simple, you could set that up in this way, or you could have ordered lists. You can do things like use tabs. In this example, it doesn't necessarily look that great, you know, but you've got those options there. So if you didn't have a lot of space, but you had a lot of information that needed to go in there, you could use something like tabs, or you could use the accordion, for example, and just jump through and look at all these very easily. You can also set this up to be like closed by default, so you could easily just open this up and only see a list of all the different dealerships. So you have a lot of different options available to you by using this particular function and this way of laying things out. Let's set this back to natural, so it just pulls in and uses our template structure. If we go to styles, you can see we can also go in and add padding and margins, alignment, and those kinds of things. And you can override text styling and things by using the options inside here. However, we don't need to in this example, but hopefully what you can see is with the benefit of using dynamic content for Elementor and ACF Pro's relational fields or relationships, you can quickly and easily pull things together and create really complex looking sites with tons of data very, very simply. So we'll hit update on there to save that, and we've got our finished article all in place. And we come over and take a little look. We'll refresh this now. We're looking at a page, and you can see there's our dealership. So only Dave's Used Audis is available for the Mini. And if we come back out of this and we go and take a look, jump back into our dashboard, come back into our vehicles, let's open up our Mini again. Let's edit that, scroll down the page, and let's just say we want to sell those at Freddy's Fords as well. We can click on that, add that into the right-hand column, hit update. We'll come back over now and refresh this page. And you can see when we scroll down, we've now got Dave's Used Audis and Freddy's Fords. So it's very easy from both a back-end way of working and also once you've set it up from a front-end way of working. Advanced Custom Fields Relationships is a very powerful way of displaying linked data, but it hasn't always been particularly easy to display if you want to use a visual page editor like Elementor Pro. However, with the advent of using dynamic content for Elementor, it opens up a ton of possibilities, and hopefully this video has demonstrated just a few of those possibilities and the kinds of ways you can display your dynamic relational data. As always, all of the applicable links for everything covered in this video, all the plugins, any references are in that description below, so you can check those out. And if you consider purchasing any of the tools used, they may be affiliate links, but it costs you absolutely no more money to use those links, but it does help support the channel and help me create more content for you moving forward. As always, my name has been Paul C. This has been WPTuts, and until next time, take care.